What's up? Welcome back. John Stark from ActiveMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And today I'm giving you a quick update on where my actress predictions stand after we've had a couple film festivals. We're still having film festivals, they're still happening, which means my predictions are kind of constantly evolving. But some things have changed and happened and moved around and shifted. So, who are my five that I would run with right now that I'm running with for the nomination? All right, let's kick it off with number one, who I think right now I'm projecting to win, and that's Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. Every single thing about the film has praised her, and it's also one of the most praised films currently running through the cycle. It has a nice prime release date. Focus Features doesn't seem to have too much else that it needs to push out this year. A lot of people are noticing that Anemone doesn't have a ton of reviews and it opens on Friday. So maybe the Daniel Day-Lewis thing is not happening. Because why would you not want to build buzz? It's also not a great release date for that movie. So, uh, yeah, I think this may be their only strong contender. Uh, so yeah, I'm going with Jessie Buckley for making people cry in Hamnet for playing a grieving mother in Hamlet. I think she's gonna win. She's a previous nominee, but she didn't win, so this would be on her trajectory, on her path. My number two is Renata Reinsve for Sentimental Value. Uh, I just heard it's not a lot of screen time. That's really the only thing that has me worried at all about this, but I think she's still going to get in because I think Sentimental Value is, again, one of those films that keeps clocking every time it screens. Everybody likes Sentimental Value. Neon does have a lot of films this year. I don't know what they're going to do. First of all, they're going to just dominate the entire like international film race, but because they have like three films in contention and they're like the three front runners. So good luck with that. But so, yeah, I think Renata's, we've seen her in a bunch of things. And I think as far as the international community goes, feels like the kind of nomination that you would pull out and you would vote for and get her in this race. So sure, I get it. Number three, I'm actually sticking with Julia Roberts for After the Hunt. I think the narrative is strong. It didn't happen for Angelina Jolie for Maria. Uh, I don't know that Maria was as big of a performance as what I'm hearing from Julia Roberts. Angelina Jolie for Maria didn't feel like, best performance since Girl Interrupted. Whereas you're hearing that for After the Hunt, best performance since Aaron Brockovich. So it's the best thing she's done in 25 years, and she has an Oscar nomination in there for August Osage County. So I think even with people who aren't loving the movie, they're still loving Julia Roberts. There are people who are giving this movie negative reviews, but they're giving Julia Roberts praise. And so she just has to do her thing. She just has to show up, smile. Everybody loves Julia Roberts. I think she's going to get in. I think she hasn't been here in a while. And between like some of the other steady contenders like Emma Stone for Begonia, she did just win, and she's been nominated a bunch. She's younger than Roberts. We haven't seen Roberts in a while. I think if we're going to spot fill here, I'll go with Roberts. Plus, MGM doesn't have nearly as much to campaign, and they can throw a lot more weight behind Julia Roberts to make sure she gets around and becomes their nomination. Because I don't know what else they're going to put into the race. Somebody needs to pick up Testimony Van Lee. As far as I know, no one has. And maybe MGM should, because After the Hunt's not happening. And anything other than Julia Roberts. So number four, I'm going to stick with Cynthia Erivo for Wicked for Good. I'm a little bit wondering, like, who, because I don't think it's just as easy as saying, like, it's going to get the same nominations as it did last time. So this could change. But as a fan of Wicked, I know she has to go through For Good and No Good Deed, and As Long as You're Mine. Three great songs, lots of emotion. Elphaba has way more to do in Act Two than Glinda does in terms of emotional. I would be more worried for Ariana Grande. Like, what did they give her to emotionally cause her to stand out in Wicked for Good? So this makes sense to me, seeing her picking up another nomination based on buzz and everything from other titles. Yeah, I can go with this for right now. And then my fifth place is Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'll Kick You. Performance that has registered since Sundance. She's never been nominated before. I've heard it's a great performance, so I'm going to stick with that and go the A24 route on that. I think Emily Blunt will be submitted in supporting for Smashing Machine, so if that happens, I'd love to see June Squibb for Eleanor the Great, but that movie doesn't have anything other than June Squibb going for it. So Sony Pictures Classics would need to really push June Squibb, which is possible. That could happen. I'm not going to say no. I'm not a crazy fan of the Emma Stone for Begonia, just because we don't need a spot filler. She's not going to win. They're not going to give her a third Oscar. Begonia doesn't have nearly the same level of reviews that Poor Things did. So it's just not that kind of a film that's lighting the world on fire. And Amanda Seyfried, I did have her, but I'm a little worried. Sort of like that movie with Matthew McConaughey that premiered at South by Southwest that everybody liked and said he was great in, and it never got a distributor. Well, Testimony of Ann Lee is having a hard time finding distribution after 2 film festivals and fairly decent praise and a lot of good praise for Amanda Seyfried's performance. Then I don't know what's going to happen with that. So probably a hot bunch of nothing. I'm interested to know because obviously House of Dynamite overclocked and has overperformed, and now people are all about it for Best Picture. It's gotten a lot better reviews than initially people thought it might. But I have yet to hear people go gaga for anyone in that cast. So is it going to get a Best Picture nomination with no acting nominations? Because last time we were here with Catherine Bigelow, we did get Jessica Chastain for Zero Dark 30. Are we going to get Rebecca Ferguson? Is this like a late stage thing where we're all going to realize Rebecca Ferguson's really good in House of Dynamite? Probably not, but maybe that's a thing. So I'm trying to find. It's funny because like I feel like with the festivals, you just like awards contenders just kind of like fall the wayside, and you see films open and their contenders just kind of like fall off along the way. We still have Jennifer Lawrence for Die My Love, but it's amazing how muted the response has been for that film since Cannes, and people she needs a resurgence. She needs like a shot in the arm to get back into the race, because the film was just like out of Cannes. So, but apparently she's good in it, so I guess she could resurge. We'll see what movie does with it. But those are my 5 right now for Best Actress. So let me know what you think. What are your 5? I'm going with Jessie, Renata, Julia, Cynthia, and Rose as my top 5 for Best Actress. That's it. I'll be back next week with another update. And until then, see you guys on the other side.